Sandy, there you are. And where did you run off to, might I ask? Oh my, it's really you, isn't it? You're alive, and you've come back to us. Oh, I've been so worried, especially after, well, we heard such awful things. Oh, Sandy, you're right, of course. This is the best news I could have hoped for, and here I am, blubbering like a baby. Welcome home. It's not quite the cobblestone we grew up in, is it? No, we've been through a lot. After you left, this terrible man named Jasper came. I'll never forget his eyes. They were so cold. He rounded us all up in the centre of the village, and then he ordered his men to kill us. But we were lucky. Not everyone is as cruel as Jasper. No, another soldier came and told him to stop. He said there was no need to take our lives. But that didn't stop them burning the village to the ground and locking us all up in the castle. Still, that one good man made sure we came to no harm. Sorry, Sandy, you're right. He's just got home after a long journey. He doesn't want to hear me blathering on. Come on. Let's go and see the one person who'll be even happier to see you than me.
Come on, girls, put your backs into it. The boys are out there doing the fighting, so it's up to us to keep the home fires burning.
Sorry to interrupt, Amber, but I've got big news.
Hello, Gemma, love. What's got you so excited,
Well, you're not going to believe this, but there's someone very special here to see you.
My little soldier. I just can't believe it's you. After all the awful things that happened, I was sure you were... Oh.
When the disaster struck, so many people lost their lives. The sun vanished, and those terrible monsters appeared all over the place. Even those of us who were lucky enough to survive were so drained and desperate that we almost lost the will to live.
And then the hero appeared just when we needed him. He did all he could to help people, no matter who they were or where they were from. He fought off the monsters and brought everyone here to safety. Without him, I dread to think what would have become of us. And now, thanks to him, the place you once knew as Cobblestone has become the last bastion, humanity's safe haven in a world beset by darkness. Would you believe we've even got the King of Heliodor camped out here? Look, I know he was the one who ordered the village to be burned, but I'm sure he had his reasons. Things aren't always as they seem, love. He may be the last person you want to see, but you should go and talk things through with the king. Your grandfather would have wanted you to at least try. Just pop your head round the door of his tent, will you, love? For me. It's the one in the middle of the camp with the 2 flags. And be polite.
So, you are alive and well, I see. You have nothing to fear. I have regained my senses at last. The living nightmare that began for me on the day of your birth has ended. Though in truth, I remember little of what I did. I have inflicted so much pain on so many. On you. I do not ask for forgiveness. I do not deserve it. All I ask is that I be allowed to atone, to pay for my crimes by protecting those who remain. Tell me, Do you recall what happened on that fateful day? The events that came to pass beneath Yggdrasil's branches? I see. I recall nothing. All I know is that whomever or whatever had me in its grasp for all those years left me there. And when at long last I returned to my senses, I was here. There is something else I must ask you. Tell me, do you know if my daughter is alive? I see.
Your Majesty, the hero has returned. He brings more survivors seeking sanctuary.
Come. You must meet he to whom we owe our survival, though you may not wish to at first.
The luminary lives.
Welcome back, Hendrik. Well, what news?
The forces of darkness amass at the gates of Heliodor. They will strike, and soon. Sire, the people must be removed to safety. Men! All the signs are that our enemy will strike tonight. To arms! They shall not find us unprepared!
As you see, he is as eloquent as ever. But you must forgive him. He has fought harder than any of us. He has sacrificed more than anyone. Which is why his burden must be lightened. It is time that your differences were set aside, Luminary. Mankind needs you. Hendrik needs you. Will you stand beside him? Good. If we are able to withstand the assault tonight, we may yet survive. Join the troops outside the fortress when you are ready.
Hey, you must be our newest recruit. They say you made it all the way to the last bastion under your own steam. Well, I'm impressed, I've got to tell ya. You can obviously handle yourself. That, or you were born lucky. Well, either way, I'm sure we can find a use for you. Follow me. Right, here's your spot. Just face that way, and when the monsters come, stick the pointy end of your sword in them. Oh, don't look so worried. You'll be fine.
Enemy forces! Here they come! Yes! Positions, men! your weight if we are to escape this one. Have at them!
Our beloved commander, rightest and best of the spectral sentinels, spake truly when he spaketh thee, Hendrik. Thou art without a shred of guile. Any other would have fled the field long ago. But I have no complaints. Our reward for tearing thee limb from limb shall be a handsome one indeed. Well, fools, wherefore gapest ye like ninnies? Kill him! Die! Your end is
Retreat! Move your bones!
Commander, a message from His Majesty. He wishes to speak with you. Both of you.
Right away.
It seems we owe you both a debt of gratitude. You have proven your strength and your ability to work together. It is time. Time to bring light back to this benighted land. The fiend that usurped my throne must be ousted. Heliodor Castle must be reclaimed. And you, my loyal servants, must lead the charge.
But sire...
I do not give these orders lightly, Hendrik. My spies have found a means by which we might gain an advantage. The city's sewers can be entered from the cliffs in the side of the hill atop which Heliodor stands. You will use these sewers to infiltrate the castle from beneath. This key will unlock the gate.
But sire, who will command our forces in my absence? If the enemy renews the attack, we will be slaughtered!
We will not. We will be prepared. Prepared to draw them out, leaving the castle unguarded. The usurper must be overthrown while we have the chance. We strike now, or we never see the light of day again.
Please, Your Majesty. We cannot allow yet more lives to be lost.
Precisely! Which is why you must quell the darkness at its source. We seize our one opportunity, or we consign ourselves to despair. It is as simple as that. Or do you question the wisdom of your king? My subjects have shown me the depth of their courage. I trust in their ability to endure this one last assault. And I order you to do likewise. You are our last hope. Do not let us down.
Wait, love. Mr. Hendrick, sir. I couldn't have a quick word with my boy, could I? I won't be long, I promise.
As long as it is quick.
So you're heading off again, are you? Well, just you be sure to listen to Sir Hendrick and do as you're told. And don't you dare go giving up, ever. Just look at me, eh? Something's wrong with my eyes now, too. Must be all this squinting in the dark. Well, only one remedy for that. You'll just have to bring back the light. Promise?
Time is short. We must be on our way.
You'll look after my boy, won't you, Sir Hendrick?
Obsidian, see the lady back to safety. So, the assault begins. Move. This is no time for idling. have carried the day. Victory will be ours! Victory will be ours! We have carried the day. Triumph was never in doubt. Victory is ours. All is well that ends well. Even the great stairway lies in ruins. The usurper will be in the throne room, if he is anywhere. He must be found and punished, which means we must seek another way up.
Come, Jasper, do your worst.
If you insist. Curse you, Hendrik. Brute strength wins the day again.
It is good to see two young men with such spirit.
Huh?
But I order you to cease your horseplay and greet our latest arrival. I present Princess Jade. When you grow older, you will be the guardians of this great kingdom. I am counting on you. And now, so is she.
With my might and your wisdom, we will surely be the greatest knights this kingdom has ever seen. Long may we protect the princess and all her people. Jasper, are you listening to me? What is this?
Why, the shield of Heliodor, of course. Symbol of the kingdom's greatest knights. His Majesty keeps it in his private chambers. If we are destined to become such men one day, one of us will surely wear it. I would very much like to see it, wouldn't you?
And how do you propose to do that? One cannot simply stroll into the king's chambers uninvited.
Oh, I have my ways. I just so happen to spy a certain someone treating himself to a midnight feast in the kitchens.
Huh?
None other than His Royal Majesty. He slithered out of a secret passage behind a cupboard and set about the leftovers. That passage must lead to his chambers.
You devil! You've solved the mystery of his bulging belly. The Queen will make you an earl for such a service to the kingdom.
We meet in the kitchen at midnight. Agreed?
Agreed.
Of course. The passage to the king's chambers. But what was that? A vision? A dream? So this is your power, Luminary? You are able to draw on the memories amassed within the world tree to pry into others' pasts. Very impressive. The kitchen is on the north side of the castle, beyond the banqueting hall. Come. Well that ends well. A word, if you please. I did not make it here that night, you know. I was caught trying to slip out of my chambers. The king made me polish all the armor in the castle. Jasper was disgusted with me. We had a furious argument. We had so many in those days. But there was more happiness than strife. Life was simple. We had a purpose. We would have stood together in defense of Heliodor no matter what. I have treated you poorly. Forgive me. My loyalties have been tested, but not by you. Whatever lies ahead, we must face it together. Will you stand beside me?
You have done well to make it here, old friend. And with the Darkspawn in tow, no less. Oh, bravo.
Jasper.
Temper, temper. Brute force may have won the day once upon a time, but things are very different now.
Why? Why did you give yourself to the darkness? What of our pact? We swore fealty to Heliodor. We promised to protect the kingdom, together!
Why? You, of all people, ask me why?
Does something amuse you, traitor?
It is I who must ask you why, surely. Why is it that you always thought yourself so much better than me? Why was it always you who was given the golden opportunities? Why was it always you who got just what you wanted? Why? Tell me why! Well, no more. I will be second best no longer. I know the truth now. Love, dreams, light, friendship, all these count for naught. All that matters is power. And the only power that matters is that of the darkness. There is one who sees the worth in me, who deserves my fealty, who gives me the power I crave, and all who stand in his way must be destroyed.
I lost my hometown, my family, my friends, all to the dark power that you serve. I lost my faith, my purpose. Though some called me hero, I believed I was a fraud, and that I was powerless to protect them. But I can protect them. I must. And there is one I must protect above all others. It is the Luminary's duty to deliver the world from evil, and it is my duty to protect him. Jasper, you are a traitor to your kingdom, a servant of evil, and a threat to the servant of light. I sentence you to death!
Really, old friend? Forgive me if I do not begin quaking just yet. Now let us end this farce. You will outdo me no longer, Hendrik. This time it is I who have been chosen, and you who will fade into obscurity.
Jasper.
Well met, worms! I am Tyriant, servant of the Lord of Shadows, and proud bearer of the title of Spectral Sentinel. You would return the world to brightness? Fools! Wretches! The time of light is no more! The age of darkness looms! All is as the Lord of Shadows wills it. As long as I yet live, the dawn shall not return to this place. Now, step forward, friends. Eternal night awaits!
Victory will be ours!
Pitiful fools!
Here! Pitiful fools! Come, wearer of the darkness! Go! Lights out!
Luminary!
No! My darling darkness! Do not leave me! Do not let the light prevail!
Obsidian! Thank the heavens I have one truly faithful friend. The darkness may have dissipated, but we cannot know what toll the battle took. We must return to the last bastion and see what, if anything, remains.